Imagine a warm summer day in the Japanese countryside. You're a child, playing alone in your grandparents' garden, cicadas buzzing in the air. Suddenly, you hear a deep, repetitive sound. Po, po, po. You look up. Beyond the hedge stands a woman, impossibly tall, her head towering above the bushes. She wears a long white dress and a wide-brimmed hat, her face hidden in shadow. This is Hachishakusama, the 8-foot-tall lady. She's chosen you. Hachishakusama isn't an ancient ghost. She's a monster born from the internet, preying on the primal fear of being small and helpless. She targets children, appearing when they're alone, her presence marked by that chilling po-po-po sound. Once she chooses a child, she relentlessly pursues them. The outcome is always the same. The child vanishes, never seen again. Her motives are unknown, making her even more terrifying. She's described as 8 shaku tall, about 8 feet or 2.4 meters, her height making her an inescapable presence. She can peer over fences, into second-story windows, always watching. Her simple white dress and hat almost make her seem human, but her proportions and voice betray her monstrous nature. Hachishakusama is a silent hunter turning summer's joy into dread for those unlucky enough to hear her call. What makes her so frightening is the sense of inevitability. Her story isn't about fighting back, but about desperate survival. The legend taps into the fear of the unknown, of being watched by something you can't understand. She's a modern boogeyman, a cautionary tale whispered online. Her story is a reminder that even in our connected world, new monsters can emerge from the shadows of our imagination. She's not just a ghost story, she's a reflection of our deepest fears. The 8-foot-tall lady is a legend for the digital age, and if you ever hear that po-po-po sound, you'll know she's near. The nightmare has only just begun. Unlike ancient yokai, Hachishakusama's story is modern, a digital ghost born on the internet. Her legend began with a single anonymous post on 2channel in 2008, where a user claimed to recount a real childhood encounter. 2channel, now 5channel, was a breeding ground for scary stories, creepypasta, shared anonymously, blurring the line between fact and fiction. The original post's simple, direct style made it feel authentic, as if the author was reliving a traumatic memory. The name, Hachishakusama, was given by the grandparents in the story, adding to its realism. Readers couldn't tell if it was truth or fiction, making the tale even more powerful. The story spread quickly, evolving as it was shared, translated and adapted across forums and social media. Unlike ancient myths, we can trace her exact origin and watch her legend grow in real time. Hachishakusama is a monster built by the collective imagination of the internet. She's proof that new myths can be born overnight and haunt us just as deeply as the old ones. The original story begins with a boy visiting his grandparents in the countryside. He's 8 years old, resting on the porch when he hears that deep, strange po, po, po. Looking up, he sees a woman's head above the 2-meter hedge, far too tall to be human. She wears a white hat and dress, gliding along the hedge before vanishing. Confused, he tells his grandparents what he saw. Their faces drain of color. His grandfather becomes frantic, asking, "How tall was she? Did she see you?" The boy realizes something is terribly wrong. His grandfather makes a hushed, urgent call, mentioning Hachishakusama and an old woman named Kei-san. The truth: the boy has been chosen by Hachishakusama, a monster known to abduct children. She hasn't appeared in over a decade, but now she's back, and she wants him. The carefree summer turns to terror. The grandparents lock him in his room, warning, "Don't open the door for anyone, no matter what you hear." Hachishu-sha, shuri aksukus. Shima can mimic loved ones' voices to trick her victims. The boy is terrified, clutching to the hope that his family can save him. The nightmare has begun, and survival depends on following the rules. The 8-foot-tall lady is coming. Soon, Kei-san arrives, a spiritual medium, ready to protect the boy. She covers the windows with newspaper, sealing out the entity's gaze. 4 bowls of salt are placed in the corners, creating a sacred barrier. In the center, a Buddha statue sits atop a wooden crate. Kei-san gives the boy an Ofuda, a protective talisman, and tells him to never let it go. Food, water, and a bucket are brought in. The instructions are clear. Do not leave the room until morning. No one will speak to him, or knock until then. The boy is locked inside, surrounded by salt and darkness, clutching the Ofuda. His grandparents' warning echoes, "Don't open the door for anyone." He sits on the bed, heart pounding, waiting for night to fall. The ritual has begun. His survival depends on his courage and his ability to follow every rule. Outside, something waits. Night falls. The boy tries to distract himself, but fear overwhelms him. Suddenly, tap, 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 on the second-floor window. No one should be able to reach it. He squeezes his eyes shut, hoping it's just the wind. Then, his grandfather's voice calls from outside the door. "Are you all right? You can come out now." Relief almost makes him open the door, until he remembers the warning. His grandparents promised not to speak until morning. It's a trick. The voice grows more insistent, but he stays frozen, clutching the Ofuda. Silence returns. Then the po, po, po sound begins, louder than ever, right outside the window. The boy screams, covering his ears, but the sound pierces his mind. He crawls to the Buddha statue, praying desperately for sunrise. The tapping returns, harder, angrier. He cries and prays, certain the monster will break in. He keeps his eyes shut, focusing on the Ofuda and the Buddha. The night stretches on, filled with terror and relentless sounds. Every moment feels like an eternity. He clings to hope, waiting for daylight. The po-po-po sound never stops. The monster is relentless. All he can do is survive until morning. The darkness feels endless. At last, sunlight breaks through a tear in the newspaper. It's morning. The terrifying sounds are gone. The boy unlocks the door and finds his family and Kei-san waiting, exhausted but relieved. His grandmother hugs him. His grandfather points to the salt bowls. Now blackened, proof they absorbed the evil. The ritual worked, but the danger isn't over. Kei-san insists he must leave immediately. Hachishakusama may try again. A van waits outside, surrounded by relatives forming a protective convoy. The boy sits between Kei-san and his grandfather, eyes closed, head down. As they drive, Kei-san chants prayers. Against her warning, the boy peeks out and sees a flash of white, the 8-foot-tall lady floating beside the van. Po, 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 echoes faintly. He screams, squeezing his eyes shut. Kei-san and his grandfather hold him tightly, chanting louder. Finally, the sound fades. Kei-san announces they've escaped her territory. The boy is safe at last. The nightmare is over, for now. But the memory will haunt him forever. Hachishakusama's story works because it fuses traditional Japanese folklore with modern horror. Rituals like salt barriers and Ofuda talismans are drawn from real Shinto and Buddhist practices, grounding the supernatural in everyday life. The breaking of Jizo statues, guardians of children, signals her power and malevolence. These familiar elements make the threat feel real, while modern horror tropes, creeping dread, mimicked voices, add psychological terror. Hachishakusama's design is simple, but deeply unsettling, echoing other internet legends. The story feels both ancient and immediate, a folktale for the digital age. It's this blend of old and new that makes her so effective. She's a monster who could exist in any era, but she's uniquely suited to ours. The 8-foot-tall lady is a bridge between tradition and modern fear. Her legend endures because it speaks to both. After her debut on 2 Channel, Hachishakusama's story went viral. English translations spread her legend worldwide, amplified by social media and video platforms. YouTubers and podcasters dramatized her tale, making her an icon of internet horror. She inspired fan art, animations, and short films. Her po-po-po sound became a meme. Hachishakusama appeared in manga, anime, and video games, cementing her status as a modern monster. She's often compared to Slender Man and Lady Dimitrescu, other unnaturally tall, viral horror icons. Her story evolved, shaped by a global community of fans. She's no longer just a forum post, she's a collaborative myth. Hachishakusama is now part of the global conversation about horror legends. Her simple, chilling story continues to capture imaginations everywhere. At its core, Hachishakusama's legend is about survival and the rules that might save you. The story gives clear instructions: stay sealed in, surround yourself with salt, hold the Ofuda, never open the door. These rituals offer hope and control in the face of chaos, turning terror into a test of will. The legend is interactive. What would you do? But remember, it's fiction, a modern ghost story crafted for chills, not real protection. Hachishakusama is a product of internet folklore meant to be shared and retold. Her tale reminds us that myths are alive, evolving with each retelling. In the digital age, new legends can spread overnight, haunting us in new ways. The 8-foot-tall lady is a perfect monster for our time, born online, kept alive by our fascination with fear. She proves that our need for scary stories is as strong as ever. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the shadows of the unknown. If you crave more mysteries, true crime tales, historical enigmas, and stories that send chills down your spine, you're in the right place. Hit like, drop your theories or experiences in the comments, and subscribe for more suspenseful storytelling. Until next time, keep questioning the unexplained.